Hey guys, what's up? It's Wednesday on International Gays, and I'm here to talk to you about sexual education. Recently, as you all very well know, I'm gonna move this over, but as you all know, I live in Canada, Ontario. Specifically, I live around Toronto. At work the other day, I was reading a newspaper. I was reading the Toronto Sun specifically, and I will link you to the article that I read. Which states that an occasional teacher for the Toronto District School Board placed sexual health leaflets in a grade 7 and 8 classroom. For those of you around the world who don't know the age range of grade 7 and 8, it's 11 and 12. So, or 12 and 13, sorry. Here's the thing about these brochures. They were sexually explicit materials on gay sex issues and various other things. And as I read the article, I went online to find it again. I was reading through the comments, and I also suggest you do that. There's some really hateful comments in there. But I have to say, that teacher was onto something. I mean, I'm not really going to comment on like this apparent scandal that came with it, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is the fact that, if you didn't know, I went to a Catholic school. And, Canadian Catholic schools work a little differently than most other countries. It's a public school, but we just teach religious values. Here's the thing. Sexual education in a Catholic school is don't have sex. We didn't have sex ed. Sex ed didn't exist. I know in health class they talk to you very briefly about STDs and what they are and how you can contract them and blah 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 blah. And they tell you and I remember this very distinctly. They said, if you don't want an STD, don't have sex. That's what we were told. I know public schools are a little different, and they do teach you aspects of sexual health and stuff. But I have to say, I think this guy was onto something by specifically targeting gay and lesbian teens, and also, like, just making these resources available. The problem with especially the Catholic education system, I'm going to preach mostly about that because that's what I went through, is that they don't make these resources available to us. I went through high school not knowing so many things that could have affected my sexual health, especially as a gay person. So many things I missed out on and didn't know because the resources weren't available to me and nobody was willing to talk to us about it because it's wrong and it's taboo. Okay? I understand that in a Catholic school you have to teach Catholic values and gay sex is not a part of that. Contraception is also not a part of that, and that's fine. Okay? But if you're not going to tell us about it directly, lead us into something where we can find that information for ourselves, because this is important. Okay? You cannot tell me that you guys are so daft that you don't know that the people in your school are having sex. Okay? And I can tell you from experience, Catholic school people are generally way more promiscuous than people who went to public school. Because it's so hush-hush, and once again, we don't know about it. We're not taught. And I'm sorry, but I blame the educators for that. Okay? You can't expect a 14 or 15-year-old kid to go out and look into STDs and protection and all of that if you don't tell them that it's out there for them. And speaking of that, like, I had a teen pregnancy at my school and it was not handled very well at all. And I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to, like, badmouth my school or anything like that, but instead of doing that, why not use that as an opportunity to educate the students and educate the school, especially because my school was so big on assemblies, on what your options are now that you're pregnant. Abortion isn't the only option. Keeping the baby is not the other option. Why not tell us about adoption or like things like birthright and the pregnancy crisis center? Like, there's so many things out there to educate us, like things that are geared towards young adults and youths, to educate them about their sexual health. Why not make that available? I think that instead of all these people commenting on this story and saying that the teacher was wrong in doing it, and that is disgraceful, and blah, 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 blah. Like, he needs to be fired, he needs to go. Why not take this as a lesson and say, you know what, maybe he was onto something? The spokesperson for the Toronto District School Board said it was done with the best intentions but not appropriately. I very much so agree with that. Explicit material shouldn't be available to a 12-year-old. It's not appropriate. However, I was like, why not find an appropriate brochure to replace it? Okay, but just because it was gay sex, it's not acceptable. Just because it's a sexual health topic, it's not acceptable to put in our schools. I think that's a huge disservice, and I think something really needs to be done about it. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to, like, I don't know, maybe leave a comment saying, like, what sort of education you received in high school about sexual health, and maybe what you would do to improve it. And maybe through all of these comments, what I want to do is I want to take them and maybe email it to the director of the board and see what he says. So that will be my service for the week, I guess. Okay, so last week, Rule wanted to know if I were your BFF, bitch, please. I already am your BFF. And if I had to nickname you, I would probably nickname you Timmy's. And the reason for that is because at Tim Hortons, they sell a donut called Dutchie, and it's my favorite donut, and you're Dutch, and you're my favorite Dutch person. Rich wanted to know if I could survive in the wilderness for a week, and I certainly could. I was a scout for many, many years, and one of the things I had to do to get my Chief Scout Award was literally go a week in a forest with just a knife. And it worked out pretty well, so I'm gonna go with yes. Yes, I could. And Andrew wanted to know whether I would want poison ivy on my face and look horrific, or on my genitals and be really uncomfortable. I would say face, because I would just let people think that I was really, really, like, ridden with acne, because, I mean, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Itchy balls are already uncomfortable, and I can't even imagine that with poison ivy. And my question for you all this week is, what would you do if one day you woke up and you were pregnant? I think the first thing I would do is scream. And then after that, I would probably jump up and down and then cry a little bit and then go, why me? Why now? Does God hate me? And then I think I would kind of be okay with it and move on with my life. So I will see you guys later.